Good Lordy, 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 Lordy. All right, are we live? Are we live? Are we live? Hello, hello, hello. Let me see. Let me go over here. Let's go live. All right, let's go here. Let's go here. All right, why are we not going live? There we go. Yes, we are. Hey, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. All right, there we go. Good Lord. It's been a while since I've finagled through these numbers. Hopefully everything's working. Good evening, Facebook and TikTok and YouTube and Instagram. How's that? I'm going to try to figure out how to go live on Substack because other people are going live on there. Hello, everybody. Come on in, set a spell. I've been out. Does everybody else, is springtime just like a lot of busy time? Like it just seems like there's a lot to get done, a lot to do. Coming to y'all this evening from my little dining room here in East Point, Georgia, about 5 miles from downtown Atlanta. I'm looking outside as the skies are kind of ominous and the wind's starting to kind of swirl around a little bit. They're saying we should be getting, hey, Nikki, say we should around 11:30 tonight be getting some heavy winds and storms coming through Atlanta. And hey, Eastern North Carolina. Hey, my nephew, Ricky Prater on here. Love you too. Good Lord. It's weird how I ain't heard from Richard. Well, his name's Richard. His handle's Ricky Prater. I ain't heard from Richard in a while. Him and his wife live over somewhere in Alabama or something. It's kind of weird social media, isn't it, y'all? Where you just kind of have, you can, I don't know. A lot of families don't really get together much no more. A lot of them don't even like each other no more, so, but it is weird when you come on social media and, I have to wrap my brain around the fact sometimes that, there's people in Johannesburg that can listen to you. And I have people that I've talked to, like going live in Scotland and Ireland and in different places. And then I'm like, oh my God, that's my neighbor right down the street on the corner down here. So the neighbor right across the street can be watching you as you do this. Good Sunday evening to you too, Chris. Good evening to you also, Miss Angela. But anyhow, Ava's out this evening. They had to do a couple. She's always in several films going on at the same time. And, most of them are little small independent films. Although we did watch her on some little scene on Netflix or one of the channels the other night. But so anyhow, she got a notice a couple of days ago. They got to do some reshoots on a couple of takes. So she's off this evening doing that. Look at old man pull the hair off their ears. That's inappropriate, isn't it? Me and Boom Boom and Grace is around the house this evening, and I stopped by. And some people won't get this, some people will get it, but I stopped by. I had to take some lumber over to my daughter Jill's house in Cabbagetown, and because she wants to build, she's got a doggy door, and she wants to build this like a little screened-in patio in the yard where her two cats can go out but not get gone in the neighborhood. And we can do it, but and of course she's real manipulative. When she asked me about it a couple of days, she said, Daddy, I ain't asked you for nothing in a long time. I'm like, oh my God. She said, I don't rarely ever ask you for nothing. Hey, Tony, I see you over there. So anyhow, went over and took off some lumber, and y'all know I'm on this health kick, and I walk 7 days a week, and there's evidence on the internet where I do that. My throat might be a little dry sounding this evening because there's so much pollen here, and I'm taking a Zyrtec every day, to help keep. And I've done my neti pods, but man, I can just feel the pollen all in my throat and chest, so I might sound a little raspy or hoarse. But anyhow, what I was saying is most of I've been I've been watching my health and eating good. I've lost about 50 pounds. I've been able to keep it off. It fluctuates 5 or 6 pounds a month, but pretty much keeping it off. Going on 3 years now. I was 235 pounds when I started, and I got down to 185, and then like last month I weighed 189. So it fluctuates a little bit. But man, I'm telling you feel a lot lighter. Take off 50 pounds. Hello, DT Johnson on Facebook. Take off 50 pounds. Or get you a 50-pound bag of seed or flour or potato, a 50 pound, and throw up on your shoulder and walk about 2 blocks with that on you. And that just literally lets you know your body, the strain on your body when you're carrying 50 pounds around that your body don't need, And I'd like to lose another 10 pounds if I can, but I'm okay. So anyway, when I left Jill's house, dropped that lumber off on the project I'm going to be working on this week. Well, Ava's gone tonight, and I haven't really ate nothing much of the day. I was kind of up and down last night. Didn't sleep good. Hey, TikTok over there. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Instagram. So anyhow, I thought, well, I think I'm just going to stop by Zesto's and get me a little hamburger and order fries. And then I posted a picture of it, and I'm like, for we all have fallen and come short of the glory. Like a backslider going into a den of sin to have a hamburger. Because there's not a bite of any of that that's good for us. It's actually bad for us to eat all that kind of stuff. But I don't do a whole lot of it. But I mean, I still enjoy a Chubby Decker and an order of fries. So it does taste good, doesn't it? Z Missy over here, yeah, probably a good hamburger. Is probably one of my favorite little pleasure foods. Just a good hamburger and fries when they're hot. Oh my God, so good, so good. Hey, Denny Conman over on TikTok. Good evening to you out there. But I don't know if the rest of you are like me. Maybe some of you are, but man, I just feel so busy. And, Heather's house, my daughter Heather got moved back into her house. And her house was practically, basically all of it redone. But her 2 bathrooms, she's like, it didn't do nothing to them. So they're still there. And she's like, Daddy, I want to put tile in my 2 bathrooms, now that I've done all this. And she's got a little bit of money. I want to put new tile. She's got that old 12-inch square kind of beige tile, kind of 20 years ago. And yeah, it's just real generic now. She wants to update her tile. And I got her a clawfoot tub at Habitat, and she wants to throw away that old big old gaudy plastic. Hey, Cindy, over on TikTok, I see you. Good evening to you, too. She wants to get rid of that old big, ugly, gaudy garden tub she's got and put a little clawfoot tub in there. She's got a big ensuite off her bedroom. I'm like, oh, my God, she's got the nicest house of all of us the way it's laid out. Off her, in her bedroom also, she's got double French doors that go out onto a deck off of her bedroom. She's got a huge closet. And she's got a bathroom about as big as my kitchen, and so anyhow, we've been dealing with that, and that's come to an end. And Jill's got a little project for me, and but anyhow, it just seems like spring's a busy time of year, doesn't it? At least it does to me. I see the sunset. If I could turn this around, I'd show y'all the sunset across the street over the houses. So pretty. And it's like dark clouds swirling around them too, where storms are coming. Then there's light breaking through, all that color. So, but anyhow, y'all, let me get this situated here. Drinking water. Hey, when I find something I like, I kind of plug it a little bit. I ain't making no money off of it, but if they did want to send me a a check, I've got a. I have to be careful doing this on TikTok; they'll flag me. But I stopped up here a week or two ago and bought a case of this Callaway Blue spring water, and it was $9.99 for a 24-pack case. And you can get the other water, whatever, $4.49 a 24-pack or something. So I paid $10 for a case of this, and oh my God, it's so good, y'all. It's in a blue bottle, which I don't really like, but it's just water. But it's from down around Callaway Gardens, and they bottle it right at the source. And oh my God, it's just so delicious. I went back and got another case of it. I've been out there piddling in the yard and I'm thirsty. So, but anyhow, good evening, everybody. Coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia, or East Point, Georgia. Here in Jefferson Park on a Sunday evening. Y'all can see where I bang my arms up out pulling bushes and stuff like that. Plus, my skin's got real thin too. So sitting here at the house, just kind of not really doing nothing this evening. They drop an episode at some point this evening of The White Lotus, and I know it's become real controversial, and people are like, oh, I couldn't watch it, it's too creepy, and this, there's some incest scenes or whatever. And I can't imagine after Donald Trump being in office, but just between you and me, not everybody else out there listening, but just between just you and me, I can't imagine when Donald Trump is president, how anybody could be offended by anything in the world again. If that don't offend you and take the cake, little bit of incest between whatever, how's that upset you? Good Lord. Also, as we drift over for a few minutes, do you refrigerate the H2? I do. I don't like room temperature water, Deanie. I like my water. I don't want it so cold it hurts my teeth, but I want it refrigerated. I like it. And water has, it's just so healthy for you. And I'll tell y'all something else to revert back to the health thing a little bit. At the end of the year for January, Ava and I decided to do January as a sugar detox. In other words, just cut out as much sugar as we can. And we had got last year where I was drinking Coke Zeros and buying them, putting them in the refrigerator, and Coke Sprite, Zero Sprite, and all that. So we did a sugar detox in January. I think I lost 7 pounds in January doing the sugar detox. 7 pounds that I'd put on during Thanksgiving and Christmas. But anyway, here it is Tuesday, 2 days from the 1st of March. We still haven't brought into the house any carbonated sodas of any kind. Just happened, it's going into April. We haven't. I was going to talk about that, Denny. Denny says he announced that he's going to try to get away with running for a 3rd term. That idiot, y'all, that idiot that we have as president, that orange-headed buffoon. And the thing about it is, voices across the country, including my own, we have said all along that this might have been the last presidential election that we had in this country, because with those bunch of Nazis in the White House, white supremacists, they're going to try to do everything they can to circumvent democracy and to do away with elections and let Donald Trump stay in the White House as long as he will. Hey, John, I am having a good weekend, John. Hope you had one just as well. I do feel better with little or no sugar, although I had y'all, when I said we have all fallen short of the glory, when I posted a picture, I didn't tell y'all this. I got me a small vanilla shake and sipped on it on the way home. So I still do some sugar. Maybe the Lord will take him out. Chattanooga. Hey, TikTok. Chattanooga loves you, my friend. Well, you know what? I love Chattanooga. I love going up to Chattanooga. Republicans are in Congress are supporting Trump. Republicans are a bunch of Nazis. That's what they become in Congress. And I know I have to be careful with that because all my lives are starting to go down. Yeah. So anyhow, y'all. But anyhow, here it is, a couple of days from April, and we still haven't brought any carbonated sodas. You know, those Coke Zeros, they're bad for you. You know, the science is pretty evident on all that. They're tricking your body into believing you're getting sugar and making your body crave sugar when it's not getting sugar. Ms. Karen says, I believe Trump will do anything he can to keep power. I hate his guts. He is pretty disturbing. Well, anyhow, y'all, a lot of us have been saying that he's going to do everything he can to circumvent democracy and just stay in office, even if he has to declare some kind of martial law or something. And I'm going to tell y'all something. The Baptists will support that. The Southern Baptists will support him overthrowing the Constitution and running for the third time, the fourth time, the fifth time. These evangelical Christians will support that. And y'all know they will. And that's why you need to come out. You know, the Bible said, come out from among the Southern Baptists and be you a separate people and don't have nothing to do with them, you know, if you're going to follow after Christ. Good Lord. I can just make up shit like the rest of them can't I? Oh, my God. But, yeah, I did see that we're in an interview with Kristen Welker at NBC News. He said that there's a way to run for the third term. You know, already he's only a few days in office and he's already planning on how can he stay in office. So I'm hoping, I know I'm naive, but I've seen weird things in my life. I'm hoping that at some point a tidal wave of enlightenment will start to roll across the country and people be just like, I'm sick and fucking tired of Trump. Enough already. I'm just fucking tired of it. You know, we wait. Can we, you know, when you're sitting at one of the sporting events and two or three people start doing the wave, and then you'll see two or three other people over there start doing the wave. Then you look around, a couple other people start doing the waves. And then all of a sudden it kind of catches on. And then you got 70,000 people just going around the stadium. Everybody's doing the wave. That's what we need. We need to get rid of Trump's ass wave going on in this country. And I tell you what's going to be their undoing. I think when they really, you know, they've already closed hundreds and hundreds of Social Security offices and have let 10,000 or something workers go of the Social Security Administration. Wait till these people's checks get messed up. And then it takes them 7 or 8 months to try to get an appointment to figure out what happened to their Social Security check. Oh, I'm already seeing on CNN. I was watching a couple of minutes the other day where this lady who was worked for the Treasury Department. Oh, she called herself a MAGA maniac. Here she was, a MAGA maniac. Had the Trump signs on her little house. Oh, she had videos of her at the Trump rallies, her Trump signs and all like that. They let her ass go. She said she's like, you talking about a wake-up call? I realized this man don't care nothing about the average working person. Duh. Duh. You think billionaires really give a shit about you making your little $40,000, $50,000 a year check, putting in your 40, 50 hours a week? You think they really care about the welfare of you and your family? Well, she found that out the hard way. She said, my God, they just came in there and let all of us go. And listen to this. They did it in a way where they said that their work performance wasn't up to par. Well, by them saying that, they can't get unemployed. You can been there for the last 2 or 3. You can't get an unemployment because you can only get unemployment if you've been let go for good cause. Not being a good worker, they'll deny you your unemployment when there's like you just failed to meet our criteria of being a good worker. So anyhow, she called herself a MAGA maniac. Now she calls herself an idiot. I'm just an idiot. I got caught up in all that. So So anyway, over here on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram, what else we got to say about all this kind of stuff? We can see now, however many months it's been that he's been in office, that the war in Ukraine did not end on day one. That the world is starting to see now that Vladimir Putin can play Donald Trump like he's a Stradivarius, like he's just a whipping violin. That Putin's not intimidated by him, you know, and evidently Zelensky's not that intimidated by him either, because when you look back on it, he sat right in the Oval Office and basically looked the president of the United States and the vice president right in the face and basically said, y'all two are full of shit. That's what y'all are. Y'all are just full of shit. Oh, they were outraged. How dare he? How dare he? I like him, don't y'all? I like him. He's got chutzpah. He's got a little spunk to him. So anyway, y'all, hey, everybody over on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram, YouTube, coming to you from my little dining room this evening, talking about just a whole range of stuff, you know. And so anyhow, going back to the other thing, it just seems like there's a lot to do. You know that spring awakening. There's kind of an awakening that goes on. That around spring times, we want to get the house painted. We want to get the garage cleaned out. We want to get the windows cleaned. I even told Ava on her studio out there this morning, I'm like, I'm going to get out here and clean these windows, because you got all this pollen on windows now. You might as well wait and the cars are all dirty, you know, and you could run them through and get them clean, and then 2 days later, they're still coated in pollen. It's kind of silly, isn't it? So anyway, everybody, yeah, my brother Richard, you know, that I got a call the other day that he was unresponsive in the ambulance, and they took him to the hospital and put him on a ventilator. He's off the ventilator, but he's a few days away from figuring out what's going on with him. And I talked to him on the phone for a few minutes, and I told him, I said, stop all that foolishness. Quit always trying to die on us. Quit all that. Just get up and go home. You got stuff you need to do. That's just our way we talk to each other, you know, like, as opposed to being all dramatic about it or whatever. I'm like, stop it. No, dying's so old school. People don't do that no more. People don't die no more. Stop it. You keep running down there trying to die on us. So, but yeah, a lot of you went to your churches today, went to your places of worship, your places of coming together. I've just really been working the last 2 or 3 weeks a lot in my garden. Just working a lot in my garden. Wondering how this economy is going to kind of filter through. I've already seen the economy is basically, the American economy is a lot of the people that control the big money. When they get nervous, they can start kind of tightening up on it, quit. They don't know which way to go. And you're starting to see a lot of that right now. Hey, let me see. Hey there, Mr. Frederick. I'm doing good this evening. Humor is good for strife. Yeah. Thank y'all for the gifts over here, and the hearts and the follows and the taps and the stuff. Now they're saying something might be happening with TikTok again too, like sometime in April that TikTok might run out. So y'all, whatever they're going to do with TikTok, just do it, instead of all the silliness they keep doing. Frederick said, I'm fine just eating too much. Well, I ate a Chubby Decker and a order of fries and drank a vanilla milkshake on the way home. That's why I said, for we all have fallen and come short of the glory. Even those of April the 5th, Love Bear says over on TikTok. Hey, something's supposed to be happening on April the 5th with TikTok again. Enough already. If you're going to shut TikTok down, just shut it down. This stuff about doing all this and then signing something and then the owner of TikTok getting on there and say, hail to King Donald Trump for saving us once again. It's old. Stop all that. We don't care. Good food knows no bound. Hey everybody, thank y'all you people on TikTok that cohort with me on a daily basis over here, and I still have about 125,000 followers over on TikTok. A lot of that's left over from the Harris campaign, and it affords me to have an audience to write and to pick a little guitar sometimes and have a little congregation of sorts. I've grown to really love and see the beauty and the power of social media. It's thank you there, Tickety Boo. Love you too. Hey there, Bridget. Thank y'all. Yeah, I've really I take notice of it too. I don't, I think maybe it's as we get older, we take more notice to things. Y'all sweet. But social media is it's a lot of work, y'all. In a way, it's people that don't and in some ways it can be a lot of work. I tell you what, when I was part of the campaign, and of course I was, plus, there was an incentive to really promote and to do videos and to make statements and all, because monies was coming in for it. So when you're doing social media, there's really no money in it now. There's a little bit of money, not enough to fool with, but not like you're getting $5,000 or $6,000 chunks of. I was walking around in New York City one afternoon, and my phone dinged, and I'm like, oh my God, TikTok just dropped $3,000 in my checking account. I'm like, good Lord, we're going to Broadway tonight, So, but looking back on that, man, I worked my butt off doing a lot of that. It takes a lot of your time when you get over into that kind of level of social media where you're it's kind of like feeding a beast. And now I just kind of come on. My thing is I was writing every day long before social media. And the only thing social media does is give me a way to voice it and have a platform with it. And also, every once in a while, all of us have something that we feel like has really touched us in a way, or we have something to say. And when I do have those moments, which is kind of rare, where I just can speak from my heart about something, when I do have those moments, those are the times where when I do a little 2 or 3 minute video about it and put it on TikTok, I'm like, oh my God, it connected with 50,000 people, and because social media basically is about. I know we got the trolls on here, but I tell y'all something else. I seen the other day with Lori Morgan, who's become a big deal now. Lori Morgan's a little Southern comedian lady from Chattanooga for years. Nobody never heard of her hardly, and play little rooms of comedy thing with 50 people there. Well, now she's on the Oprah thing, the big thing, and I posted a video over today where Oprah come into her dressing room and said, I love you, Lori Morgan. And I'm like, man, look at Lori Morgan's got big time now. But Lori Morgan said a couple of weeks ago, she said, oh my God, y'all, you know how she talks. She said, I did a little video on TikTok, my first one that got over 1 million views. And she said, I want y'all to look at all these people that saying all these ugly, nasty things about me. And she was reading about how she's not funny, she's ugly, she's this. She said, well, why are they doing all that? She said, I went viral, y'all. Listen to all the trolls. And I got tickled at her because when you look on my TikTok page, there's a couple of them over 1 million. There's one of them that's over like 3.5 million. Now that I look back at it, it's hilarious how people like really come after you when you have a viral video. They're like, you ugly, you this, you that, you're an idiot. They just, I have to wonder if it's jealousy or if it's just people being ugly, but it is weird. So it was greetings, North Carolina. Granny Birdie. I like that. Granny Birdie says she loves my content. Thank you there. I appreciate that. Sending love back to you. So Now I have to look her up. Yeah, if you've never heard of Lori Morgan, she's become a big deal. She's on the Oprah thing. She was just recently in a movie with Reese Witherspoon, and but she's doing sellout crowds across the country now. She talks about menopause and having to give her husband do them vulgar things with her husband to get her a new pocketbook. It's just stuff like that. So. But anyhow, she's went viral a couple of times on TikTok too, and the trolls are out there. But the bigger picture is social media is such a gift to the world, and it just connects us all in great ways. I have people on my Danny's Eddie Oprah made all of her money selling products on her TV, aka her show. Yeah. Tickety Boo said, "You have blessed us with so much." I tell you the other thing too about social media, and some of you people that follow me, and for me, I follow some of you. It's hard to keep up fakery for a long time. The social media, if you follow somebody or watch them over time or something, you kind of get a sense about who they are. I mean, even if you take somebody like Bill Maher, you might love him, you might hate him. But if you follow him over the years, when he looks into a camera and he's so many stuff, you kind of get a vibe for who he is. You kind of get a vibe for just people in general. There's so many people on my Facebook page over the years I unfollowed or deleted. I'm like, no, they got some weird hokey mokey about them. No, they're just, and by the same token, I totally get where I don't expect in no wise everybody to get me or to vibe with me or connect with me. I'm sure I'm a big turnoff to people. We're not meant to connect with everybody, but connections are also the things that we are attracted to. Hey there, Marlis. Marla says, "Hey there, Eddie. I think I'm going to live. I'm glad your brother is doing better." Yeah, I'm glad he's doing better too. He still has a hard road ahead of him. He's got some real bad lungs to deal with. And some of y'all people that might follow me know that my brother, he's had a little hard way to go. So anyhow, what was so weird, a couple of days before they found him unresponsive, he had called me Friday morning, and the way it works, if y'all just bear with me for a minute, he's on SSI and he lives in a little place by Jackson Lake, Monticello, pays $600 a month. Him and a couple other people, whatever, scrounged together. And so he has to come to the doctor, but he has to come to the doctor in Atlanta at Mercy Care. Well, Mercy Care will provide him an Uber or some ride from Monticello to Atlanta. So when he comes to his doctor, it's right up the street from the shop. He don't have to go back until 2:00 in the afternoon or thereabout. So he'll walk over to the shop. So he called me Friday morning. He said, "Eddie, you got anything you're doing today? Let's do something." I'm like, "Richard, I ain't got nothing. And so he said, "All right, brother, then." So anyhow, I thought about it for about 5 minutes, and I called him back, and I said, "Have you already left?" He said, "No, I'm still here." I said, "Well, hang around, give me 20, 30 minutes. I'll ride over. We'll figure out something to do." And our deal is, anytime he comes to Atlanta, we'll figure out something for about 2 hours because he's got to get his ride back, and I'll give him $100 for 2 hours. And so anyhow, I told him, I said, "Well, why don't we ride out to the farmer's market and I'll get a little grass on the back of the truck at a super sod and put a little grass in the lower yard." He said, yeah. So we rode out there. Bless his heart, he's got these inhalers. Can't breathe good. I don't know why he's not on an oxygen tank, unless maybe he smokes and they're afraid he'll blow up the house and kill people, but he needs to be on an oxygen tank. And so anyhow, I knew we went down there and got the grass, and he wasn't able to help do anything. He just sat in the truck, And so what I did is I worked myself half to death, because here I am getting all the rolls off the truck, rolling them off in the little down lower backyard. He just wasn't able to do nothing. And he went back home, and if I'm being honest about it, and he'll probably watch this. He follows me too. Every time I see him, I always assume that's probably going to be the last time I see him because he struggles so bad with his health. And thank y'all for the hearts over here. So anyhow, but y'all, here's what's weird about people with health conditions. I've known people that had very minor things just up and died. I'm like, my God, that's shocking. They seemed perfectly fine a couple of days ago and they got something weird happen. They up and died, a little health issue. And then I've known other people that had horrible health conditions and they just went on and lived for years and seemed like everybody had them dead. As I tell my sister Vicky, I'm like, Richard Wayne's going to outlive me and you both. You know, he's going to outlive both of us. And he's had all these health issues for years. It's just life is just kind of weird and hard to figure out like that. So, but anyway, y'all, living in strange times, just odd, strange times we're living in. And yet it's spring. Life is blooming. Life is full. All of us stay so busy. We got more to do. We know what to do. And yeah, it is crazy. Matt says some smokers live into their 90s. I've known people in their 90s that smoked from the time they were 10, 11 years old. Then I've known other people. I've got family members that died in their 30s from smoking. Lung cancer, 32 years old, 33 years old, lung cancer, you know. And yeah, so Richard still smokes. When he's can, he got him a pack of Lucky Strikes the other day. I took a picture of it, and he said, I just like having them around. He said, they make me feel good to have them around. And so anyway, I'm just reading some of the comments, y'all, over here on TikTok. But let's have a good week this week. I work on Mondays. I'm retired, but I go to the shop and work on Mondays. And then after that, the rest of the week, I've got gardening to do. This coming weekend in Newnan, Georgia, is the Chattahoochee Poultry Association swap meet. We're in Newnan, Georgia, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of this coming weekend. You'll have any kind of chickens in the world there. You can... I saw that, Marlis. Marlis said today Trump said he would run for a third term. We knew that was coming. That's not a shock to any of us. And it's, and my thing is this is what the Southern Baptists and the evangelicals, they want. They want the Constitution to be done away with, and they want Donald Trump to be their Lord and Savior and their King and Lord of Lords. And they want him to stay up there in Washington, D.C. and lead the country. It's really despicable, y'all. It's really just despicable what these religious leaders, like this buffoon down here on downtown Atlanta that's always with Trump, it's just despicable, that the church has turned their back on America, the organized church of evangelicals, and it ranges from Catholic to Episcopal. They just turn their back on the American people, and I don't have nothing kind to say about them, other than if you listen to this, if you go to an evangelical church, run out of that goddamn place like the building's on fire. Because I'm telling y'all, there is not 1 ounce of God in any of those places. That's a bunch of foolishness. Just a bunch of foolishness. So, but anyway, y'all, having said that, speaking as a prophet, for we have all fallen we have all fallen. Well, I can't even remember the quote I said now. We have all fallen and come short of the grace of God. So, but anyhow, let me just close with this right here and get off of here. He will never be a president a third time, because we're going to all speak that into existence. We'll speak it into existence. He will come out of that White House one way or the other. And we just speak that into existence. And we'll just have to let it be. Somebody over on TikTok said they've turned us against God. short of the glory. Yeah. For we have all fallen. I love that. No matter what, no matter what that old saying about going as that so, for we have all fallen and come short of the glory of God. With being raised up in church, I mean, some of the preachers would get caught doing the most horrible things, having sex with the Sunday school teacher's daughter in the Bonanza Steakhouse parking lot. Just get caught doing all that. And then when somebody said, well, that's just awful, he'd do that. Somebody else said, well, we have all fallen and come short of the glory of God. So it's okay, then go get you a little more hoochie. Then, if you want to just paint that over with that saying, we have all fallen. I went by Zistos. My throat's giving out y'all. The pollen's in there. Let me get off here. Love y'all. I'll see y'all in the morning.